Okay. You might have to press something, I'm not sure, but okay. So now, here we go. Okay, so welcome to January Community Breathing and Tension Release class. So as I just mentioned, I'm operating 2 different devices, so I'll try and make everything as clear as possible. And so we're just gonna do a really easy, trying to bring some energy up and warm things up, sitting on the floor. You can sit on top of something if you need that for your low back or your hips, but we're just gonna try to find a comfortable posture. You can relax with your feet out. You can even sit on a little stool if you want to, and then come down to the floor. I will do next time in February, I'll do the chair version of this. So we're gonna just bring the feet out a long diamond shape, might feel good for your hips. You can cross your feet or you can bring your feet straight out, whatever feels good. We're gonna just take a moment and feel the spine posture, feeling that the breath drops down through the spine, through the tail of your spine, feeling that the tail of your spine has a nice release towards the floor, which is a little bit back behind the sits bones sometimes. So we feel our sits bones, we're usually on them, but feel that you can relax through your lower back here. Sometimes you feel like you just kind of sit slightly back, and then just let your legs release from that, relax the arms, and then just close your eyes, let the breath drop down through the body into the base of the spine, into the base of the pelvis. So we're just gonna take some deep breaths, just starting to feel that nice release, travel down, starting to bring our focus inward, releasing any external thoughts or tensions. Feeling a softness through the back of the neck, the jaw, the chin, the shoulders. Feeling that your jaw and your chin, the same as your tail of your spine, just slightly drop in and back towards the spine. And then we're going to continue to breathe, gently opening the eyes, taking the palms together. And we're going to create some friction, drawing the breath up into our hands. Very relaxed through the fingers here, feeling that you're drawing the energy up into your palms from the center, from your breath down low through the base of the spine. And then we're just going to pause, relax the palms, let the breath push the palms open out into the space around you. So feel again the breath from inside expand you out. This is nice and light. You can move in any direction you feel comfortable. It's a sense of yawning and relating from the inside to the outside through the space around you. Feel the breath release and draw through the back of the body, feeling that you can expand into all the space you have around you, feeling the breath up above, down below, around the sides, behind you, and just letting your body kind of move gently through the joints, but start to feel a connection from inside through your movement. So you're just building that, beginning that. And then we're going to reach out through the palms, gathering the energy from the space around, and just sense that over your eyes, relaxing, use your breath and just wash that over your face, around your eyes, breathing into that. And then let's take the fingertips into the brow bone. We're going to breathe out and carve, tracing in and out, around and up. So using the breath and massaging, pressing along the brow bone, feeling the tension release from the center out, around and up into the hairline a little bit. Using a nice exhale to open above the eyes. And then let's take the index finger. We're going to go down underneath the eyes now. So right into your orbital bone. From the center, underneath, carving that space open, breathing through it, releasing through the sinuses, relaxing the face as you let that open. And then let's take the fingertips right into the forehead, just a very light scrubbing, releasing of the breath, moving the skin around, letting all the lines release and all the stress release from the forehead. And then we're going to come around to the outside of the eyes, very gentle, and just take some very nice light circular motions around the sides through the temples here, but not pressing in. And then we're going to travel down. Relax your jaw, let your jaw a little bit hang open. You can be stronger in how you palpate, how you press in. We're going to massage right in between the upper and lower jaw and just kind of digging around and feeling out where you need to go. Lots of tension can get held through here. Breathing through that. And then we're going to come up around the ears, nice and light, lifting and scrubbing up, lifting through the scalp towards the crown of the head. And we're going to come around the back of the ears, lifting up and back. So we're basically releasing around the ears, lifting up through the back of the head, a little bit feeling that we're lifting off the spine there. And then coming right into the top of the neck where your head and neck meet there, your occipital, feeling that nice little carving out and just taking a side to side massage, breathing and relaxing into it. And then going a little bit more out to the sides towards your ears. And then coming back in close to the spine. So now we're going to take some nice circular motions. So just breathing and relaxing down the sides of the spine through your neck. So just letting your head gently drop back and just kind of feeling that softness through the neck as we work our way down the back of the neck into the tops of the shoulders. So once you've reached the tops of the shoulders, we're going to dig your fingers back there and take a nice exhale, pull over top of your shoulders, releasing any stress and tension and shaking it off your hands. And again, going back, maybe a new line here. And just exhaling, sweeping over and letting it go. And again, going back and exhale through and release. Now we're going to take that breath from the base of the spine up through the center. Interlace your palms, feel the breath lift you up from inside. We're going to lift through that breath, reaching tall through the arms. If your shoulders are a little bit compromised here, feel that this connectivity comes up through your arms. Don't feel that you have to straighten your arms here. So lifting up from inside to release the shoulders and the arms, and then just kind of wiggle up out of that. Feel the breath lift you up and out of one hip and the other, feeling that nice shifting and releasing out of the lower back. And then keep the hands connected. We're going to sweep the arms down, relax the shoulders, let your tail sweep under. Take a nice circle around the side, finding your elbow, breathe through the side of the ribs. Inhale up and floating around. Exhale, relax the shoulders as you circle forward, around, and down. So think of the breath through your chest cavity. Your arms and shoulders are just following along. So you're feeling your shoulders open from the breath through the trunk of your body, your chest cavity and back. Feel the breath lift through the sternum, the front of the chest up. And exhale. Let the tail sweep under as you come down. Inhale, relax the shoulders, relax the elbows. Take a new breath at the top and then reverse, going exhale, sweeping the tail under. So you're breathing in between the ribs, all around the chest, feeling that sense of expanding in between each set of ribs with your breath, rounding under. Inhale through the side ribs, opening the chest up, and exhale, side, sweeping under, around. Inhale through the side and up. Now find that breath from down low through the base of the spine, lifting you up inside to reach up again. Keep that lift. Release the palms, just let them float open from that internal support around and down. Now we're going to take our feet out in front. So we're going to do a little kneading here. So you don't have to take your hand. You can just reach your arm up. We're going to take the same hand as foot out and just gently, again, this breath support is filtering out. We're going to breathe and lift, and a little pressure down on the top palm. You can roll through your foot and then just change. Even if it's just tiny, tiny, and you're just starting to feel a little bit of that energy come through. So you're cultivating the connection to find the stretch and the release. So we can't have, we don't want to bring tension back in. Breathing in and up. Now to keep this palm up, if your other hand isn't back, bring it behind you. Use your back palm to just push over the tail and breathe the chest open. Let your arm hang. Relax and change. Use the breath through the back palm and that breath through the center in and up. And release and change. So the breath lifts you up and that back palm gives you a little bit extra release and change. And again, the breath lifts you up to open the chest, hanging that arm open. Now take both hands up. We're going to circle the wrists and the ankles, breathing and circling around through those joints. Let the fingers and the toes open. Make your way all the way down towards the floor. Once you reach the floor, just hang there. You can soften up through your knees. You can wiggle into your sits bones more. Now, even if your head, the weight of our head is the most important, we're going to just drop the head. If you're way up here, or if you're all the way down here, use the weight of your head to breathe out and let go. So even if it's just your head, if you're feeling really tight and just letting the head go with your breath, just do that. So we're just letting that release through the crown of the head, filter down through the tail now. Breathing out and dropping, relaxing through the arms, letting the breath release all the way down into the lower back and tail. And then we're just going to hang over, use the breath and your head to sway from side to side, feeling that shifting and dragging from one hip to the other. Feel that the breath through the back of your ribs just releases up on a diagonal out of the waist, feeling that softness release out of your lower back. So we're swaying on our sitting bones here. We're going to start to shift and roll from one's hip to the other. Use your abdomen to lift your hip and walk backwards on the floor. So you're hanging over, but you're just walking along the floor in your hips, getting some motion into your sacrum and your lower back, feeling that you're engaging through the abdomen to move through the hips, shifting and dragging your leg along the floor. And then we're going to use the breath to now come forward. So there's a little bit more of a bend in the knee and a drop out through that leg. So initiate from your hip, from inside the pelvis, shuffling your leg along the floor, breathing into that. And then just come down through center, find that heaviness, and just hang through the head, breathing out. Feel the breath lift up inside along your spine through your abdomen. So we're going to inhale, rolling up through the spine, feeling that connection all the way down, down, down. Even as we get almost up through the top, feel the connection from down low until you've come all the way up, and then just kind of let it relax here. So with the feet out, scooping the tail under, we're going to take our fists and just drum into your sacrum, into your lower back, breathing into that. Get around into your glutes a little bit, the lower back hips here. And then we're going to work our way up the sides of the spine. So letting the breath come in, coming up through the back towards your ribs, and working your way back down again. And then we're going to take both fists right into the sides of the hips here. just letting the hands bounce off the back sides of the hips. And then we'll go from one side to the other. So we're taking the palm from around the back of the hip, a nice little circular motion, and flushing any tension or tightness down and out through the feet. And then we're going to open the palm, use the heels of the hands to come up around the sides of the legs. So we're just fluffing up around the outsides of the legs here, letting the muscles shake and release off the bones, traveling down the sides of the legs, all the way towards the knees. And then right up above the knees, still in our quads, we're going to fluff and release pressure and tension around the tops of the knees, going to the inside. And then coming around to just taking little taps through the fingertips into the kneecaps here. So feeling a vibration travel through the joint, waking up the nerves with that vibration. We're going to travel down the shin bones, feeling that vibration all the way to your ankles, and back up the shins again. And then we're going to lean back, use the heels of the hands to flush and give a good amount of pressure down through the quads, releasing and lengthening and flushing through. Let's come around, acknowledge the shape of your legs here. Go a little bit to the outside and a little bit towards the inside, getting a good release from the hip flexors. And then let's just lean back a little bit and drop into our hip flexors. You're just letting your hands bounce here. A little bit out to the sides maybe might feel good. And then we'll flush down again from the hips to the knees. And then we'll continue to come down along the outsides of the shins. So again, that looseness in your hand, fluffing up around the outside of the shin. So these are our pronails. We really want to feel relaxed and kind of bouncing off of them. Using your breath through your palms, trying not to hold your breath. And then we're just going to very gently relax, bring the feet back. This is just a long, relaxed shape here. Use the tops of the palms and flush down through the inner thighs. So we have this downward release motion, letting go from the hips down through the inner thighs, the adductor lines. We're going to travel along the inner thighs towards the knees in that downward motion. And then very gently, we're going to flex through the heels, slightly engaging our calves. Take a deep breath and drop your fists right down into your calf. So we want to feel that the calf muscle shakes around a little bit here. And if they're feeling really sore or tight, you can just drop from a closer distance and just a little bit more repetition, but lighter. Breathing through that. Make sure you get into the lower portion of your calves, where the soleus and the Achilles tendon is. Gets really tight in there. And then we're going to just lean back into the palms, let the legs come out, give a good shake out along the floor. Nice little shifting in your hips and shoulders, making sure you're not holding tension. And we're going to take a deep breath in, bring one knee up. As we start to exhale, feel a little connection through the belly and let it go. And again, up and exhale, release. So we want to feel a lengthening behind the knee along the floor. Trying not to push into the floor, but release along and out, releasing through the hips. And again. And then we're going to go easier on this today. Not a big tap, but just do little taps in and out, letting the release through the bones, a little turning in the joints here, releasing from the hip sockets. So you can decide how much you give through this tapping, just making sure we're not holding in the hips. Then we're going to let the feet come back in, and we're going to just roll through the ankles. We're going to go into our feet a little bit more, relaxing in the feet, rolling the ankles around, starting to breathe into the feet. And then just relaxing on the floor, take a nice massage on underneath the ankle bone to the insides of the heels here. So we want to give a nice, good scrubby motion, waking up those inside lines of the heels, feeling that We're releasing through all the tendons here, just kind of fleshing things through, feeling a sense of awareness into this inside line through the midline of our legs, coming all the way up into our hips. And then we'll come down underneath the soles of the feet. So take a nice deep circular massage, breathing into the soles of your feet. Feel that you're flushing any tension or tightness from the heels all the way through the arches and into the toes. You can kind of flush through and give a little kind of pull out of the toes, underneath the toes where the balls of the feet are, the metatarsal lines. You can follow those bones. And then come around and just take underneath your hands, underneath your toes, and just hold space in between your toes and relax your feet and just breathe into that space between your toes for a moment. Just a nice passive release there. And then releasing out of that. So now we're going to walk through the feet. Let's take the hands back behind us and find a nice, we have our sits bones. We're going to scoop under a little bit. Feel that connection from your sits bones. Gather the legs through the center. Again, this midline all the way through and up. Hands are rested back behind us. We're going to exhale, breathe through that center line and out through the feet, walking along the floor. Stretch your toes out and use your toes to pull your heels forward. So we're going to exhale and walk. Feel that the soles of your feet, especially the arches, expand and puddle into the floor, reaching away. Now we're going to reverse it where the toes go under and walking back. So we lift the toes to go under and walk back, up and over and back. And then go forward one more time and breathe, squeezing through that midline, feeling a sense of connection from your abdomen all the way down and out through the feet, along the legs, controlling the motion of your feet. And then just relax, shake your legs out. We're going to bring the feet back in wherever you're comfortable to your seated position here. Find a nice lift of the chest now. So we're going to lift the chest cavity up out of the hips. Take your palms and massage and breathe into the sides of the ribs. So we're going to inhale and exhale. We're getting into the lymph a little bit here, fleshing things around, expanding. Come down into the front of the hips, into the groin, and just massage through there, moving the lymph around there, letting things flush through, helping your body out a little bit. And then we'll come right into the center of the chest. This is the sternum. We're going to exhale, just do a little scrubby motion. We hold a lot of tension here. So just let your breath go, let the tension go here. And then take that into nice long strokes down around the sides, underneath the ribs, releasing and opening underneath the ribs. Coming around the other side, nice and lifted up underneath the ribs over here. And then just relaxing your arms, relax your shoulders. Let your arms hang. Relax your head, take your opposite hand and just massage into the front of the shoulder, breathing and relaxing. Again, removing some of that lymph around here. So breathing, get into all that mushy area of under in the front of your armpit here. And then maybe around into some tighter areas closer to the bone. And then just relax, change to the other side. Let this arm hang. Let your head relax as much as you feel comfortable with. And just breathing into that hang, getting all that movement and release and flushing through. Letting your breath come through. And then we're going to use the breath through the palm. Let your head relax and exhale, just throwing up and over. Let your palm just bounce off of the top of the shoulder, and your head is just ever so slightly moving out of the way to the side. So the breath releases. It doesn't have to be close to your neck. It can be more towards the outside of the shoulder. Feel that your breath is getting through the palm into your upper back. So you start to feel a little more awake through the back ribs, through the lungs all the way up there. and then just relax out of it. So let the tail release under, draw the breath from inside. We're going to inhale, draw the breath inside up. We're going to exhale, let the arms go and release. So we feel that plumb line. And again, release, breath comes in and up and let it go. One more time, in and up. And release. We're going to shake it all out now, releasing through the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists, the head, letting the breath help you let go, shaking the muscles off the bones again. We want to get that nice fuzzy feeling all the way down into the hands. And then just relaxing through the palms. So we go through each finger, gently pulling out, using the breath. Let the breath come from the center, release, opening through the arms. So don't feel you have to go back, right? So we're feeling that expansion out to the side, releasing through each finger. So we're going along the nerve line from all the way through the upper back, into the neck, into the head, all of it. And wiggling it free. Feeling that the shoulders relax a little bit here as you release through, just sort of checking them out as you take a new finger. And then we're going to interlace the fingers and just compress and release, kind of moving around here through the palms, letting that space come in between our fingers. Relaxing through your wrists, we're just going to roll around. Let the breath go. Let the shoulders relax. Let the momentum build through this release all around. And then we're going to reverse it, coming back and releasing through the wrist, letting the breath come through. And then we're going to separate the hands. Feel the breath from the center of the palm open, and exhale, pull it in. Inhale, the fingertips expand from the center of the palm. And then we pull in through the palm to bring the fingers in. So we're really exercising through the hand and out from the center of the palm, not feeling that we're pulling through the fingertips and bringing tension back in. So now we're going to use the breath from the base of the spine. Inhale, feel the body expand and flow up. Now we're going to compress and breathe out, squeezing the breath out. Squeeze through the fingertips, the toes, the eyes. Use your breath to squeeze out any negativity, anything you don't feel you need anymore. Use the breath to push it out of your body. And just let the breath in when you need to, expanding and floating open. And again, exhale, squeezing it out. Letting the breath in to expand. And again, exhale, squeezing out. Letting the breath in. On this last one, we're going to exhale, but feel that you gather light new energy using your breath, pulling that through the fingertips and toes into your center, feeling that connection come right through into the pelvis. And just let the breath in release anything that was sort of hanging on. We're going to come around into our ears now. And just take your fingertips and massage and breathe, tracing the lines all around the ear, feeling that release inside, pressing a little bit in and letting go. And then just relaxing your jaw and gently pulling the ear ears away from your head, all around. And then finding that nice lift through the back of the head and neck. So feeling that sense of length back there. And then take your hands to the back of your head, resting your head into your palms, and gently breathe and lengthen the palms up. Feel your head release and lengthen up, releasing the palms, sweeping up, and just hanging around and forward and down. So now feeling that energy travel through the spine and out through the eyes. We're gonna just feel that center connection. The eyes are just scanning the room, looking all around us, around to the side, just gently observing the space and the details around you. And once you get to the side, let your eyes come back around the other way. And you're just looking out, feeling a sense of connection from the base of the spine all the way up and out through the eyes, the top of the spine. Let your breath come in. Try not to hold your breath as you scan. This time, let your vision expand, feeling that you can look out beyond the space that you're in, letting that horizon vision come through, nice and light and open. And again, feeling and noticing anything that feels, sometimes this is challenging neurologically. So you just want to feel nice and soft, let your body adjust to the alignment. Let your breath bring your eyes back through center. We're going to take a deep breath, draw the breath up from the base of the spine. Try to keep the neck and the chest open. Try not to feel like you're pulling your shoulders up. We're going to inhale. Squeezing the eyes shut, pull the breath up. And then exhale, gently open the eyes. You can let them blink a little. Let's take the hands and just kind of brush away around the face and the eyes, letting that release come through, sweeping away any little extra cobwebs up there. And then we'll take our fingertips all around the skull, breathing out, and just taking those nice little taps all around. Feeling again that vibration travel through. And then we're going to take a nice sweeping up through the back of the neck and the head, feeling a sense of length through the back of the body. Feeling that length through the back of the body, we're going to exhale and just give a little turn side to side. You can go very slow here if you don't feel confident to let go. So you can just breathe through the back of the neck and the head, and you can look a little side to side like you're spotting, but feel your jaw let go. We just want to get a little twirling release through the top of the spine. And then just let that slow down very gently at the end of your motion there. So let's come into the center of the head, suture sagittalis, right at the hairline in the center. We're just going to press down, pull apart, and let go, working our way a little bit more back towards the crown of the head and breathing out and just release. We're going to come around onto hands and knees. So let's relax onto the hands and knees here. We're going to make our way up off the floor. So let's take one foot behind, tucking your toes under. Feel that the tail of your spine isn't lifted or holding too much tension. Feel the flow of the spine through the tail, through your heel. Glide back. You're breathing and feeling a connection through the abdomen and the center, and then come back in. It doesn't have to be big. You're just feeling that flush, tail to heel release, and in. And again, tucking the toes, finding that gliding back. You can slightly lean into that front hip, and in. So we're breathing through the back of the knee and the heel. And when you start off, that heel energy is really important to let the heel go, and that flushes you back and through. And change. We'll do one more time on each side. Let your breath guide you to release and change. And the breath releases you through and in. So now from here, we're just, if you're comfortable, we're gonna tuck the toes under. If your knees will let you, hang your tail back and hang your heels towards the floor. The knees can separate a bit and you're just in this little squatting position, hanging your tail to the floor. Let your arms and head hang forward. A little bounce of your tail towards the floor. If this isn't good, you can come up onto your feet and just hang your body over your hips. So just the same energy from the tail through the heels. You can, if you're down, you can rock a little bit on your feet. Use your hands to shift your body weight a little bit forward and back so you breathe and expand your feet into the floor. We're going to breathe and push down, lifting the tail back and up. Even if your knees have to bend a little, just shake the legs out here. Hang your body over your legs. Even if you're up here, even if you need a pillow or a block. So we're just going to hang. We're going to bend one knee and shift and breathe into the opposite straight leg. So just nice and simple, shifting and hanging. Your tail goes to the straight leg heel. And then shift and exhale, dropping through that opposite side. And shift and exhale. And then come through center, hanging through center. Feeling that let go of the head, the shoulders, the palms. Feeling no tension through the arms. Feel the breath, lift your abdomen up and draw your tail down. So the tail, the sacrum's pulling down. You're revolving through the spine. Breathing in and up through the abdomen and drawing down through the tail, down through your heels as you roll up. So try not to release this. Let it come all the way through. Feeling the length of the low back, down through the tail, through the heels. And just let that come through. Let that openness in the front of your hips come through. Feeling that plumb line energy through the back of the body. And then from here, we're going to take our fingertips right to the lower abdomen. So we want to feel that the breath sips in and up through our mouth, and our fingertips are observing the connection through the muscles here. So we feel that we lift internally up out of the pelvis with our breathing. So we're feeling the length remain through the back of the body. This is very small. This is a nuance, right? So it's not a big motion. Relax the shoulders. Let it come from the deepest internal place you can connect to. So it's going to build. We'll do a few times. So releasing, you can let your eyes draw shut and feel that breath come in and up. We're going to lift through it. And as we exhale, gently bend the knees, but feel this internal lift as you exhale. Gently straightening, breath comes in. Feel that you draw the breath from in between your heels, we'll say. Keeping that lift and exhale. And again, in and up. And keeping that and exhale. The same breath connectivity here is going to initiate the arms floating around and up from the side. So feel this breath come in and float the arms up. Your shoulder blades are gliding down. Your tail glides down. And then we're going to feel that lift and exhale, release through the knees and elbows forward, around and down. Let the breath come in, floating the arms up. Breathe through the midline. You can let your eyes go up. And keeping that lift as you exhale. Releasing forward and down one more time. Breath comes in and up. Letting the arms float lightly and exhale. Now we're going to round the tail under. Let the breath come through the midline. The fingertips trace the breath line now. Right through the center of our body. When your palms come up, take your palms, just fingertips lightly touching here. Elbows are wide. As the breath comes through the sternum, it pushes your elbows open. Exhale. So we're not straightening the arms. We're letting the chest push the palms open. And then round the tail under. Let the breath come through again, up through the center. Gently touching the fingertips, elbows are open, and the breath through the sternum pushes the elbows open. So it's very soft through the arms. Relax your tail under to bring them around one more time. Breath comes in. All the way up. Eyes go up. And exhale from the center of the chest opening. Around and down. So now from here, just feel that energy down through the tail, breath coming in and up. Take a deep breath and feel the sternum open and round the shoulders back. So let that lift from in the center of the chest, open through your shoulders. So you're not pulling against. So it's the openness and length of the spine that opens the shoulders. And then just feel that length of tail dropping down and let that feel heavy and just take some walking out around your space, feeling that you can drop through the back to open through the front as you're walking. Excellent. I'm going to stop this.